There's a Social Security benefit that millions of divorced Americans are entitled to right now, and your ex-spouse has absolutely no say in whether you receive it. They do not get a phone call. They do not get a letter. They do not get a notification of any kind. Social Security will never tell your ex-spouse that you applied. Social Security will never tell your ex-spouse that you're collecting. And here's the part that surprises people the most. Your ex-spouse's monthly check does not go down by even one single dollar when you claim benefits based on their record. Not 1 cent comes out of their pocket. This money comes entirely from Social Security. And it is money that federal law says you earned the right to simply by being married for at least 10 years. But right now, today, there are divorced Americans in their 60s and 70s collecting hundreds of dollars less per month than they are legally entitled to, simply because they thought they needed their ex-spouse's permission, or they thought their ex-spouse would find out and cause problems, or they felt too proud, too hurt, or too disconnected from that chapter of their life to look into it. And every single month they wait is money they can never get back. If you were married for at least 10 years and are now divorced, this video was made specifically for you. Stay with me until the very end, because by the time this video is over, you're going to know exactly what you're entitled to, exactly how to claim it, and exactly why your ex-spouse has nothing to do with any of it. Welcome back, and if this is your first time joining us, I'm truly glad you're here today. Today, we are covering the divorced spouse Social Security benefit in 2026, one of the most underclaimed benefits in the entire Social Security system. By the end of this video, you will understand how this benefit works, what the rules are, how much money you could be receiving, the 5 mistakes that cost divorced seniors thousands of dollars, and the exact steps to take to start your claim today. Let's start with the most important thing I want you to understand about this benefit, because once this clicks, everything else will make perfect sense. When you were married, your spouse was building a Social Security earnings record year by year. Every paycheck they received, every year of work they completed, every dollar of Social Security taxes they paid, it all went into building their benefit amount. Federal law recognizes that during those years of marriage, your life was intertwined with theirs. You may have made career sacrifices. You may have raised children. You may have supported the household in ways that allowed them to focus on building their career and their earnings. And because of that, the law gives you a legal share of the Social Security benefit their earnings record produces. That share is up to 50% of your ex-spouse's full retirement age benefit. And the beautiful thing about this, the thing that makes this benefit so unique, is that your ex-spouse's benefit is completely unaffected. They receive their full amount, you receive your amount separately. 2 checks, both in full, from the same earnings record, and your ex-spouse will never know unless you choose to tell them yourself. Now, let's go through the 7 rules you need to know to qualify. Because understanding these rules is what separates people who claim successfully from people who miss out. Rule number 1 is the 10-year marriage requirement. Your marriage must have lasted at least 10 full years before the divorce was finalized. The date that counts is the legal date your divorce became final. Not the date you separated, not the date you filed, and not the date either of you moved out. The legal finalization date is what Social Security uses. If your marriage lasted 10 years or more from your wedding date to your divorce finalization date, you meet this requirement. If it fell even slightly short of 10 years, you do not qualify based on that marriage. Rule number 2 is the age requirement. You must be at least 62 years old to claim divorced spouse benefits. Claiming at exactly 62 gives you the earliest possible access to income, but it also comes with a permanent reduction in your benefit amount. We will talk about the right age to claim in detail later in this video, because this decision has a bigger impact on your lifetime income than most people realize. Rule number 3 is the current marital status requirement. You must be currently unmarried to claim on your ex-spouse's record. If you have remarried and are still in that marriage, you are not eligible for divorced spouse benefits based on a previous ex-spouse's record. However, and this is critical, if you remarried and that subsequent marriage has ended through divorce, annulment, or the death of your new spouse, you may once again be eligible to claim on your original ex-spouse's record. Your eligibility can be restored when a disqualifying marriage ends. Rule number 4 is the benefit comparison requirement. Your own Social Security retirement benefit must be lower than the divorced spouse benefit for the divorced spouse. Benefit to actually increase your payment. Social Security always pays your own benefit first. If the divorced spouse benefit is higher, they add the difference on top, bringing your total up to the divorced spouse benefit amount. If your own benefit is already higher than 50% of your ex-spouse's full retirement age benefit, the divorced spouse benefit simply does not add anything extra in your specific case, but you will not know which situation you are in until you ask. And the only way to ask is to contact Social Security directly. Rule number 5 is the ex-spouse's eligibility requirement. Your ex-spouse must be at least 62 years old and eligible for Social Security benefits for you to claim on their record in most circumstances. But here is the important exception that most people do not know about. If you have been divorced for at least 2 years, you can claim divorced spouse benefits even if your ex-spouse has not yet filed for their own Social Security. This is called the independently entitled divorced spouse rule. It means that after 2 years from your divorce date, your ability to claim is completely separate from whatever your ex-spouse decides to do with their own benefits. They can delay their claim until 70 if they want to. They can choose never to file. None of that affects your right to claim after the 2-year mark. Rule number 6 is the work history requirement. Your ex-spouse must have enough Social Security work credits to be eligible for benefits. In most cases, this means they need at least 40 work credits, which is roughly 10 years of work history paying into Social Security. If your ex-spouse spent most of their life working, this requirement is almost certainly already met. If they had limited work history, it is worth checking to make sure they are eligible before you count on this benefit. Rule number 7 is the notification rule. And this one is the one that gives the most divorced seniors genuine peace of mind. Social Security is legally prohibited from disclosing your benefit information to your ex-spouse. When you apply for divorced spouse benefits, your ex-spouse is not contacted. They are not informed. They do not receive any communication from Social Security about your application or your payments. Their privacy is protected, and so is yours. This is not a loophole. This is not a technicality. This is the law, and it means that any concerns you have about your ex-spouse interfering with, contesting, or even knowing about your claim are not a barrier to you receiving what you are legally owed. Most retirees do not know this, and it changes everything for people who have been hesitating. Now, let's talk about the 5 mistakes that cost divorced seniors thousands of dollars, because avoiding these is just as important as knowing the rules. Mistake number 1 is claiming your own Social Security retirement benefit early without first finding out what your divorced spouse benefit would be. This is the most financially damaging mistake on this list, and it is devastatingly common. Here's exactly how it happens. A divorced woman turns 62 and needs income. She calls Social Security, applies for her own retirement benefit, and starts collecting. Nobody at Social Security proactively tells her that her ex-husband, with whom she had a 22-year marriage, has a benefit record that she could claim on. She receives $800 per month from her own reduced benefit and assumes that is all she's entitled to. What she does not know is that her ex-husband's full retirement age benefit is $2,600 per month. 50% of that is $1,300 per month. Her divorced spouse benefit would have been $1,300. $500 more every single month than what she is currently receiving. Over 10 years, that unclaimed $500 per month adds up to $60,000. Over 20 years, it is $120,000. All of it left uncollected because she claimed without checking. Before you file for anything, call Social Security and specifically ask what divorced spouse benefit you may be entitled to. Give them your ex-spouse's name and date of birth. Ask them to compare your own benefit amount to the divorced spouse benefit amount. That one conversation could change your financial life. But that is not the biggest mistake. And mistake number 2 is the one that affects the most people in the 60 to 65 age range. Mistake number 2 is not understanding how the age you claim permanently affects your divorced spouse benefit. If you claim the divorced spouse benefit at age 62, it will be permanently reduced by as much as 30 to 35% compared to what you would receive at your full retirement age. For most people reading this, your full retirement age is 67. That reduction never goes away. It stays with you every month for the rest of your life. Let me show you exactly what this means in real dollars. Say your divorced spouse benefit at full retirement age would be $1,200 per month. If you claim at 62, that benefit drops to roughly $780 to $800 per month, permanently. If you wait until 67, you receive the full $1,200 every month. The difference is $400 per month. Over 15 years, that $400 monthly difference equals $72,000 in additional lifetime income, just from waiting 5 years. Now, I understand that waiting is not always possible. If you need the income now, claiming early may be the right decision for your situation, but this choice should be made with full knowledge of the permanent reduction it creates. Not by default, not because you were not aware of the alternative. Mistake number 3 is not knowing about the bridge strategy. And this one could save you tens of thousands of dollars. The bridge strategy works like this. If your own Social Security retirement benefit at age 70 would be higher than your divorced spouse benefit, you can claim the divorced spouse benefit first, at or after your full retirement age, and collect that income while your own benefit continues to grow. Your own retirement benefit grows by 8% for every year you delay past your full retirement age, up to age 70. The divorced spouse benefit does not grow past full retirement age. So by collecting the divorced spouse benefit from 67 to 70, and then switching to your own maximized benefit at 70, you get the best of both benefits over time. This strategy is 100% legal, fully supported by Social Security policy, and can add significant money to your lifetime income. But it only works if your own benefit at 70 will eventually be higher than the divorced spouse benefit, which is why comparing the actual numbers is so essential. This is where many seniors lose money, by choosing a strategy based on assumptions instead of actual benefit amounts. Mistake number 4 is assuming you cannot find your ex-spouse's social security number and giving up entirely. Many divorced seniors believe they need their ex-spouse's social security number to apply for benefits on their record. And when they cannot find it, because it has been decades since the marriage, or because they never had access to it, they assume the door is closed. It is not. Social Security can locate your ex-spouse's earnings record using their full legal name, date of birth, and state of birth. If you have a copy of your marriage certificate and divorce decree, you have enough documentation to start the application process. Do not let a missing Social Security number stop you from calling. Let Social Security do the work of locating the record. That is exactly what they are there for. Mistake number 5 is being emotionally hesitant about claiming benefits connected to a difficult relationship. I want to address this one directly and honestly because it is more common than most people admit. Divorce is painful. For many people, the marriage that ended was the most difficult chapter of their life, and the idea of connecting to an ex-spouse's record, even for a financial benefit, can feel uncomfortable, strange, or even wrong. But I want you to hear this clearly. This benefit is not a favor from your ex-spouse. This benefit is not charity. This benefit was earned by you. Through the years of marriage, the sacrifices you made, and the life you built together, your ex-spouse does not know. Your ex-spouse cannot stop it. And your ex-spouse's financial situation is not affected in any way. This money belongs to you. Claiming it is not petty. Claiming it is not vindictive. Claiming it is simply you taking what you legally earned, and what federal law says is yours. Do not let the emotional weight of a past relationship stand between you and your financial security. Now, let's also talk about what happens to your Medicare coverage in connection with this benefit, because there is an important link that many people miss. If your ex-spouse worked for at least 10 years and paid Medicare taxes, you may qualify for premium-free Medicare Part A based on their work record, even after divorce. This is especially important if you did not work long enough yourself to qualify for premium-free Part A on your own record. Premium-free Part A covers inpatient hospital care, skilled nursing facility care, and certain home health services, and without it, you would pay a monthly premium of several $100s. Contact Medicare at 1-800-633-4227 to find out if you qualify for premium-free Part A based on your ex-spouse's work history. This is a separate benefit from the Social Security divorced spouse benefit, but it is connected to the same 10-year marriage requirement, and it is absolutely worth checking. Let's bring everything together now with your complete action plan. The 7 rules to qualify are a marriage of at least 10 years, being at least 62 years old, being currently unmarried, having a lower own benefit than the divorced spouse benefit, your ex-spouse being at least 62 and eligible, or you being divorced for at least 2 years, your ex-spouse having enough work credits and complete privacy protection, your ex-spouse is never notified. The 5 mistakes to avoid are claiming your own benefit early without checking the divorced spouse amount first, not understanding the permanent reduction that comes from claiming before full retirement age, missing the bridge strategy that lets one benefit grow while you collect the other, giving up because you cannot find a Social Security number, and letting emotional hesitation stand between you and money that is legally yours. Here is what you do right now. Call Social Security at 1-800-772-1213. Tell them you were married for at least 10 years, that you're now divorced, and that you want to know what divorced spouse benefit you may be entitled to based on your ex-spouse's record. Have your ex-spouse's full name and date of birth ready? Ask them to compare your own benefit amount with the divorced spouse benefit amount at different ages. Write both numbers down, and then make your claiming decision with full information. Not guesswork, not assumptions, and not fear. I want to ask you something in the comments below. Before watching this video today, did you know that your ex-spouse has no idea when you claim benefits on their record? And did that change anything about how you feel about moving forward with a claim? I read every comment on this channel, and your answer might be exactly what another viewer needs to hear to take their first step. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up and share it with anyone you know who is divorced and approaching retirement age. This information is too important to stay hidden, and sharing it costs you nothing, but could change someone else's financial life completely. And if you're not yet subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell right now. Every week we publish new videos on Social Security, Medicare, and retirement income, all in plain, honest English, because understanding your benefits should never feel complicated. You earned this, you deserve this, and now you know exactly how to claim it.